Hey there YouTubers, so in this video we're going to update the BIOS on this MSI Pro B550m Pro VDH Wi-Fi. I am using a capture card, so you may notice some black lines there to the left and right of the screen. It is because I have an ultra wide screen. If you guys don't have one, you should get one. And unfortunately, as it records, it leaves that aspect. So, all right, first thing, folks, you're going to do is go to a search engine, in this case, Google. Type in MSI Pro B550m Pro VDH Wi-Fi. It is important that you go to the right website, okay? So just so you see right here, this looks like the exact same one. That's the one I want. Click on that link. And let's blow this up, okay? So we have, I don't know if you noticed there, Windows 11. So I have set this up for TPM 2.0. If you don't know how to do that, I do have a video elsewhere. And try and put a link down below just so you can do that yourself. All right. Once we get in here, folks, two places there's support. You don't want this one, you want that one. And then drop down here under drivers and downloads is BIOS. And it lists out the BIOS. And I've done a lot of these BIOS updates. So what I will tell you folks, and this is, you know, we could do this video really fast, but unfortunately I have to drag it out a little bit because you need to make sure you do everything correctly, okay? Really, to be honest with you, you need to have a good reason to do a BIOS update. You don't want to just do one to do it. Like I'm doing it to make a video out of, but you know, if you don't necessarily need it, if your computer's running fine, then you know, skip the update until there's a reason to do it. Now, what are the reasons for doing a BIOS update? Well, you'll find the majority of them down here in the description. So this is the initial release down here at the bottom, and how you could tell this, well, it'll probably tell you their release date. This will be the furthest away from your current date for the release date. This is the version, all right, and really we're just going to concentrate on this last part. But so nothing in here really in the description except, you know, this is initial release. On this next one, let's say you wanted to go to one of these CPUs. Well, you would want to upgrade your BIOS to this version, right? So that's version 21. Version 22, they added some more compatibility, memory compatibility. If you're having issues with memory that is supposedly compatible, you might want to do the update. And we just read through all these. So another thing I'm looking for, folks, some computers actually will, or some motherboards will tell you to do a certain BIOS update before you do the most up-to-date one. Hence why we're, you know, another reason why we're reading through these. Most likely we will do the newest one when we get done reading this, and that will be cumulative. It'll give you everything that you needed from the other ones, right? So here's something for RX 6000 series. So we have RX 6000 graphics card. So this was, you know, obviously a good update for that. USB device compatibility. Here's that new Ryzen 7 5800X 3D. So if you happen to be wanting to get that and put that in this motherboard, you'll want version 2A here. And then this guy, secure boot. So this is the most up-to-date one. You see, this was done last month. Here we are in August. And this is the one I want, folks. It's the beta version. So, you know, could I go with this one or that one? Sometimes that word beta, you know, could scare you off. Might be honestly better for me to select this one. But I'm going to go ahead and get the most up-to-date. We're going to download this. And then I'm going to open this file up, or the folder, excuse me. And we are going to extract all. If you have WinZip popping up, you know, unzip it. Your computer might be set up differently. Now we have a thumb drive here, all right? and we want to look at properties. So mine is set to NTFS. That's usually what I do. I'm going to copy this over. Actually, I didn't, yeah, copy. For a second there, I thought I was going to paste it. So to be honest with you, what I like to do, folks, is clean things up a little. So I only have the three folders, and this is our BIOS. So try and, you know, at least remember the back end of this. But this is the folder. If you had a bunch of folders on here and other BIOS updates, it might get confusing. You could potentially rename this if you want to. All right, now we're going to reboot the computer. And hopefully, folks, this thing will reboot to BIOS. So usually the delete key, the F2 key, works for this. And if it doesn't, pulling out the drive will do the same thing. All right, so it actually did work. So we want to use, we're going to use mFlash over here. If you were in easy mode, you could use that mFlash, all right? Depends on which mode you enter in, this one or that one. Let's go ahead and click on this. System will auto reboot and enter flash mode. Do you want to enter flash mode? Yes, I do. All right, so other things to talk about, folks. Check the weather. Understanding, you know, what's going on, possibly with the power grid. If you knew there was going to be a brownout or blackout because it's extremely hot out, and the air conditioning was, people are rolling the power out there to, you know, basically be able to keep the grid up in other areas, but your area might go down for a little bit. If you're doing this in the winter time and there's winter storms or other issues that might pop up, maybe it's hurricane season, anything that can knock your power out. If you happen to have a uninterruptible power supply, UPS, you know, having that plugged in, make sure it's not in, I guess, bypass mode. Make sure that it's actually going to work and that you are not going to lose power to your computer. All right, so we're in here, folks. This is our thumb drive. There's that folder on there. We'll click on it. Click on this file. And are you sure you want to select this file? Yes, I am. Now, one last thing, folks, while this is going, do realize that the potential to brick your motherboard, though very small, could potentially happen during the BIOS update. Regardless of doing everything perfectly right, things could go wrong. What I like to do definitely around this point is, you know, stop touching my mouse, stop touching my keyboard, and get away from the computer. All right. So another thing to talk about, we talked about the weather, the concerns there. We talked about basically giving a warning that this thing could fail. A lot of times I do my BIOS updates when I first get the motherboard, and I buy a lot of stuff through Amazon. If something goes wrong, usually don't have any problems with Amazon being able to send stuff back to them. But you know, whether your motherboard manufacturer will actually allow you to or will actually warrant it is another story. I've never ever sent one in. And when I have had problems with motherboard, it's usually been well after a year. So there's that aspect. Now the only other thing that I can think of for motherboard folks is, you know, this is definitely one of those things that's very sensitive. But obviously a BIOS update will help your computer run much better if it solves your hardware or software issues. And so this motherboard update is taking quite a bit of time. Sometimes you'll see these things go by really fast. And I would say the reason this one's taking longer is because it is a bigger update. The fact that it's cumulative, and they've had all those other BIOS updates, potentially is why this is taking longer. And if this video, helps you do your BIOS update, please give it a like, maybe even comment. I always appreciate kind words, or a thank you, or even if you're going to be critical of the video. I do realize that I don't do everything perfect. I do try to do my best, and it is what it is, right? So, but positive, negative comments, whatever. Likes are nice, like I said. It helps get this video out to more people out there that may need it. Instead of, when you go to search for something, there's nothing worse on YouTube than you're searching for the exact thing that you want and you're not finding it. And why is that? Well, because that video might have been released 5 years ago. It has 10 views. Nobody watched it, and it just doesn't show up in search results. There are, so many videos on YouTube that may never see another view. I probably have quite a few of those. As somebody that may have, I honestly probably have 3,000 to 5,000 videos just on this channel. But that's what happens when you make a lot of gaming videos, right? You have a lot of extra videos. Plus a lot of videos I should clear out. So we're almost at the halfway point. Now another thing, some of you may complain, oh, the video's a lot longer. Obviously, you can go across the bottom and fast forward. I know that's annoying, but one of the reasons I record the whole thing, folks, is just so you have an idea. How long did this really take to do, right? Right now we're at the 13-minute mark of this video. I've had these videos done in 8 minutes. That's a new motherboard with a first or second revision for the BIOS update, so it goes a lot faster. But yeah, this one, good chance will be in the gosh, we may hit 18 minutes on this video. Now another thing that could happen, folks, if let's say you had your RAM overclocked, so you have that going on. After you do this BIOS update, you will have to overclock your RAM again, alright? Another thing that may happen, your boot priority may change. So if you have multiple drives on your computer, you may find that you have to reprioritize them, okay? If you're wondering why your computer's booting straight into BIOS instead of going into the operating system, most likely your boot priority has been changed. That's not uncommon. So, with that said, the fact this video has been nice and long has allowed me basically to tell you about everything that can go south with doing a BIOS update. All right, hit the 15-minute mark in the video, 65% of the way there. So if you're actually still listening to this video, I'd be curious what CPUs you guys put into it. Obviously, I put Ryzen 5 3400G, which is not fully compatible with this motherboard. Why is that? It doesn't allow you to have take advantage of the integrated graphics from the 3400G. Actually, I'm using a graphics card right now. Not to say that I wouldn't use a graphics card anyways, but just cross the 16-minute mark, 72% done. Yeah, we might just hit 20 minutes, folks. Across the 17-minute mark, 78%. This is honestly the longest BIOS update video I've made yet, folks. It is not on purpose. Across the 8-minute mark, we're at 93% now. And we're going to be done shortly. It's almost like it's picked up. Crossing the 19-minute mark in the video and 100%. So it's going to reboot. Hopefully the capture card, even though it looks like it's froze on the 100% mark. And I've got another screen that has the live feed, so potentially I may have to kick this out of OBS recorder. Oh, looks like it's going to pop back up. And if it goes into Windows, folks, we're golden. Even if it goes into BIOS, as long as the BIOS is updated. Yep, there you go. So thanks for checking out the video, folks. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.